Hi guys, I'm sorry about not getting my tutorial up yet. I just had a lot happen yesterday. I was in a bad mood all day. Just didn't feel up to it. But I had something that seriously ticked me off again today. So my boyfriend took me to do some retail therapy. I ended up hitting Ulta and Five Below again. Five Below, I swear, is just, it's horrible. That place is so much trouble for your wallet. I can tell you that now, especially when it comes to their cosmetics. But I picked up a good bit of stuff. I'll save my Ulta stuff for last. First off, they had this set of 5 different pairs of lashes for $5. And each pair, actually the first 2 pair are the same. These 2 up here, these little demi-wispies. And then the other 3 are all different. They gradually get fuller or longer. These are like super long. And these are from Profusion. I've done Profusion palette hauls in the past. I've really been impressed with their stuff so far. The one lashes that I got originally from Five Below, I didn't really like them all that great. They were okay, but they weren't spectacular. And for these are Profusion, I think these are going to be a bit better. However, they do have the thick black bands. They aren't the invisible bands. But for their Profusion, and I've had good experience with Profusion, I think these are going to be a lot better. I can't remember the name of the brand. I'd have to look in one of my older videos to see, what the name brand of the ones were that I picked up that were the single pair. But I'm looking forward to trying those. And as you can tell, they are the day and night. So some, are more suited for daytime, like these 2 up here, and then others are like for a night out. Then they actually had a City Color Barely Exposed palette, which I think is kind of a knockoff of an Urban Decay Naked palette. It's got some really pretty shades in it. It kind of looks like it's a combination of all the Naked palettes from what I can tell. Seems like it might have shades from each of them. So I don't know how comparable they are because I don't have the Naked palettes yet. But I am aiming to get them eventually. So when I do get them, I will give you a comparison just so you'll know how well these work out. But I love this sparkly black one right here. Maybe a navy blue. It's got like a silver glitter. The pigmentation actually seems really good. So give it a try here. And I'm just blending it. It's kind of pretty. And I love that it has that silver, but once you blend it, it's not got, just a complete overload of glitter. But with a base, that might change. Let's see, that's Ulta. They also had some more Profusion. I think this is Profusion. Yeah. And this one, they actually had 2 different varieties. This one is the Pearl Neon Brights, and then the other palette is Matte. As you can tell, they've got really vibrant colorings. And it seems like some of the colors they tried to kind of, represent like the Urban Decay Electric palette. I'll have to go through and do a comparison on those as well, on the like shades. Take out this little plastic cutter. Comes with the little sponge applicators, as always. Excuse me. And it also comes with a black eyeliner. Apparently we kicked up dust somewhere. But it seems like this one is a little bit like Thrash, only it has a bit more green. This one is kind of reminiscent of Jilted. This one, I think it's Freak, only it's a bit lighter. I think Freak is darker. And then instead of a silver, this is more like a silvery white. But again, all of these in this one are pearl. And then we have the Neon Brights matte eyeshadows. All of these are matte shades. If I can get this to cooperate with me. Come on, you little sticker. Come off of there. There we go. Well, that works. The little spongy applicator jumped out. I don't have to take it out. However, I just noticed it looks like a couple of these, the plastic cover kind of smudged a couple. But the colors are really pretty. This one kind of reminds me of, I think it's called Savage. This one's closer to Freak, but I think Freak is more metallic. And I did notice that they don't really have an urban purple in these, which is kind of disappointing. I was hoping for a purple, but that's okay. And this looks like it's got a really nice rich black, so I'll have to see how well that black works. I'm going to check this one that's kind of like Savage really quick. Pigmentation's actually really, really good. And just because I can, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to try this cobalt blue. It's kind of like one of the blues, I can't remember the name of it, in the Electric palette from Urban Decay. Pigmentation on that one is actually really neat also. It's almost got like a little bit of a pearl finish to it. Well, duh. This is the Pearl Finish collection. Brain fart! Reach up here and grab one of my wipes really quick. And finally, they actually had these, which they called their Glamour Bars. They had 3 different ones. This one has these colors in it here, which kind of makes me think of the Semi-Sweet chocolate bar palette from Too Faced, just because of this blue right here. And once I get that one, I'll have to do a comparison and let you know how they measure up. This one is kind of like its own thing. This one has pinks, purples, golds, stuff like that. It's also got a lot of blues. But the one that really piqued my interest was this one. This one makes me think of the original chocolate bar palette. Let me take out that little sponge. It also came with an ultra thin eyeliner pencil. I mean, this thing is really super, super tiny. I mean, look at that. But I kind of like it. But I wanted to do kind of a comparison. They got this purple here, which kind of reminds me a little bit of the Candied Violet. I happen to have my actual Too Faced palette right here, the chocolate bar. First, I'm going to go into Candied Violet. And then I'm going to go into this Profusion Glamour Bar. Similar, this one is the Too Faced. This one is Profusion. It's not as shimmery, and also it's got more of a red hue, while this one's more blue. However, it is a really pretty shade. I do have to admit that. And let's see. They also have one that is quite similar to Marzipan. I will come in here, pick up some Marzipan, which is a really shimmery champagne shade. And then I'll come over here and this one actually has a couple shades that are similar to Marzipan, so I'll go ahead and pick up them both. Okay, you can see these three just barely. This one here is the Too Faced Marzipan, and these are the two that are similar from the Glamour Bar. I want to say in hue, this one right here that you can just barely see, Marzipan is a lighter color, so it is hard to see. This one is similar in color, while this one is more similar to the finish. So I would imagine you could probably overlap those and you would have a dupe for Marzipan. Let's see. We also have a shade that is similar to Salted Caramel. Salted Caramel is a matte shade. And I will come over here now and pick up this one that is similar to the Salted Caramel. This one right here is Salted Caramel. This one is from the Glamour Bar. This one is a bit deeper. The Salted Caramel's a decent amount darker, but still similar. And also this one's more shimmery, and it's also more warm toned, while this one is more of a nice nude brown. But they are still similar. So they're not exact dupes, but if you don't want to spend, you know, the $52 on the chocolate bar palette, you might be able to get away with doing this one from Profusion. I found mine, as I said, at a store called Five Below. Also, this one does not have a pink, and it has one that is somewhat similar to Triple Fudge, but Triple Fudge is matte. The one in the Glamour Bar is a shimmer. It seems like most of the ones in the Glamour Bar are shimmery, but not all. Some of them are a lot more shimmery than others. So if you don't want to spend, you know, the $52 on the Too Faced, you may not get a dead ringer, but you can probably get fairly close with this little one from Profusion. It's the one with kind of the caramel colored melted chocolate bar, which is actually rubberized. That's kind of neat. It's really rubbery. So it's not an exact dupe, but you could probably consider it close enough for government work. And now we can move on to Ulta. Picked up some new lashes. I just thought these were really nice and soft, yet bold at the same time. Thought they were really pretty. And Essence actually came out with some new shadows. I think they're new anyway. but they're called the 3D eyeshadows. They're very duochrome-y, as you can tell. I'll open it up so you don't get that glare. They do have that really pretty textured design, and they're highly metallic. This one is called the Irresistible Full Moon Flash. I thought it was quite pretty. Seems like this one is kind of like a soft plummy silver, and then down here, of course, is kind of a really shimmery ivory. All of these are metallics. This one is Irresistible First Love, and it's a nice baby pink and a gray. And then the third one I picked up is Irresistible Midnight Date. This one has kind of the dark blue, and then right here is a really, really, really pale, powdery blue. Borderline silver. But I thought it was really pretty. And next, something I'd been eyeballing for a little while. And what sold me was the name of one of the shadows in this palette. It's the Too Faced Cat Eyes. They come in this tin, and it's got the magnetic closure. And it's got, of course, a how-to glamour guide tucked up in the top to hide the mirror. You can take that right out. And then you've got these 9 shades, which are super pretty. The one that sold me was the name of this one right here. It's called Kitty Glitter. I just thought that was so hysterical. But I'm absolutely in love with Pussycat and Jungle Love. I thought those two were just absolutely beautiful. This one, mind you, pigmentation is insane on this one. This one is Jungle Love. It's kind of a deep eggplant borderline black with that slight purple hue to it, and it's got kind of a purpley pink glitter to it. And then Pussycat is kind of a nice light magenta. It's not really pink, it's not really purple. It's right in the middle between the two. But it has kind of a pinkish duochrome to it once you get it put on. It's super pretty. And then it has a nice rich black called Panther. You can see just how black that really is. However, it doesn't go on as pigmented. So that one you would probably have to build up. I'm on second pass and it's still not opaque. There's number 3. And it's still not as pigmented as Jungle Love. But it's still going to be a nice, maybe a nice one to blend for just a little bit of depth in the outer corner in the crease. But I thought it was really pretty. You've also got this baby pink down here. It looks more ivory on my camera, but it is a really pale pink. Then you have this one, which is kind of a matte ivory, and then up here at the top, which is a pearlescent ivory. So those are going to be really nice highlight colors. Tuck it back in its little protective box. And lastly, I got the Too Faced Sugar Pop palette, which is another one of their little 9-color palettes. It's covered in macarons. And the colors in here are just absolutely beautiful. It's not your, smothered in neutrals. It's got some really vivid colors to it. This one up here, which is called Macaron, it's kind of a orange dreamsicle orange. Then you have Sugared Violet, which is kind of reminiscent of Candied Violet, only it's a little bit lighter. Down here is Bubblegum. And let's see, we have blue raspberry, which is more of a teal. It's not really a blue raspberry color. Then you have blackberry, which is kind of a plummy shade right here. Up here you have malted milk ball. And sugar plums is just a nice kind of like little lavender. Sweet and spicy, which is a slightly more yellowy ivory. And then you have candy coated, which is a little bit deeper. It's almost like a light apricot color. But it too came with the little color guide, or glamour guide, excuse me. Oh, excuse me, it's not candy coated. I misread all the colors. I was going down the side, not underneath. The top one is rock candy, then strawberry ice, which I don't know why they called it that because it looks more lavender than pink to me. And then the bottom one is peach fuzz. But I thought those were, all in all, pretty fun. And I really think that this one would probably be a fairly close dupe for the chocolate bar palette, although it is not dead on because the chocolate bar palette does have mattes. This one seems like it's all either satin matte or shimmer or maybe even metallic. But as for the colors, they're pretty close. Just not the texture or the finish. But anyway, that concludes this video. I hope to get a tutorial up soon. But until the next time, if you haven't already, please subscribe. I'd love to have you tune in. And you should follow me on Instagram and Twitter at OXGlitterDivaXO. And until next time, see you later.